Hi guys. Okay, so part 3 of my Nepali trip. Well, we've kind of had a couple of days in the village right now, and we've been up to see the wintergreen, and we've started to do some work on the school, which was great, and we're starting to really get to know one another, and it was just the best time. The bonds that I'm forming with the women in the group and the men, I mean everyone that was there, just really getting to know one another. Just nothing like, I haven't really had that experience much growing up. That sisterhood feeling, where you just kind of sit and talk and giggle. Oh my God, I haven't laughed so much in forever. I haven't sung so much, danced so much. It didn't matter where we would just randomly break out in song. So whether it was on a bus going somewhere, or if we were walking somewhere, or if we're digging a hole, or if we're sitting down having dinner, we were singing and we were dancing and we were having fun, and inhibitions were gone. For me anyway, I felt like I didn't care, it didn't matter. There was no judgment. Maybe that's what it is. There was I'm gonna get all teary. I didn't think I would do this. This is what Nepal does. There's no judgment there. Everyone's just happy for you to be you. And everyone, I think, because when you're there with doTERRA, and I was talking to some of the guys that run the Choice Humanitarian trips previously, and that they were actually a little bit concerned, like, this is going to be a really interesting group because it's a big group, different languages, they don't know each other. Normally when they do these things, it's like a big group of friends or something, so it's all like cohesive. So they were actually, I think they were a little bit concerned. They had no idea how it was going to work. So that was really interesting, but obviously they don't know doTERRA. Everything just worked so beautifully. Everyone was so kind to one another, really gracious of each other's space and opinions and thoughts. And if someone wasn't feeling well, they'd go lie down. If someone was struggling in the line carrying stuff, they'd be swapped out instantly. If there was a space and people were leading too far, it's like, we need another person over here, and someone would jump in and swap over, and we would just get it done. We would just work it out. So yeah, after breakfast stuff, we were back on the tools, and finishing the footings. It was just go all morning. It was like ice blew it up, baby. Like in the mornings, arms, shoulders, necks, legs, butt, thighs, everything. Like the best. I felt amazing the whole time. I definitely got achy and sore and reapplied, and we were good to go. So definitely got a big workout, that, especially the cream, ice blue cream. It was funny, I did the Itivo a little bit when I was there, and I was doing it, and a lot of emotional oils were coming up for me, which I didn't feel like I was feeling, but obviously my body was feeling it. And it's all coming out now. But yes, if I randomly break out into tears, if you're in the group and you're watching this, you get what I'm doing. You get what's happened. But so yeah, we did more of the same. So what I was describing in my last video was how we had these little dishes, and we put, like, someone would shovel the concrete on, and we would literally just pass it person to person back down the line, and we would be singing songs and always just having so much fun and sopping it out. And I really, really loved that part of it. But at lunchtime, the boys kept going, and us ladies went up to one of the classrooms because they'd organised 2 Days for Girls sessions. So Days for Girls is another organisation, a non-for-profit organisation that doTERRA has partnered with through Healing Hands, and they have a number of Days for Girls systems all over the world, and they have an actual shop in Nepal where they hire women to come and sew these Days for Girls kits. I think it was Alison Johnson, sorry honey if I've got your name wrong, she made some kits up too in Australia, which is awesome. If anyone's out there who sews and wants to make these Days for Girls kits, super easy. Alison has all the stuff. She's got a website, she's got a Facebook page and stuff all ready to go. If you want to be a part of this and make these kits up, so easy to do. And trust me, they get handed out and they are loved. They are loved. And I'll explain a little bit more about that and what that experience was like for me as a woman. So we go up into this classroom and these girls start coming in, and more and more. And there was 2 sessions. The second session was bigger than the first one. It was chockers in there. You couldn't move. And this beautiful woman, Maya. Oh God, sorry. I should have written this down. She runs Days for Girls in Nepal, and she's just a beautiful soul. The most beautiful soul, like such a gentle, small-framed woman with the sweetest, kindest face, and so loving and honest, and just says it like it is, but with humor, and that's really approachable. So it's not just about the menstrual system or menstrual cycle for us women. It was also about self-defense. It was about anti-trafficking. It was about hygiene. Lots of different things we actually talked about. So obviously we went through like the period and how all that works and how you can fall pregnant and the reproductive organs and all this kind of stuff. So it's a bit like a sex ed class, really. And then they went through how the packs work. So in the packs, they are reusable panty liners, basically, which are washable and reusable for years if they look after them, which is fantastic. And how they clip into your knickers and all that kind of stuff. And they get like a little pack with different liners, and they're all beautiful colors and so well made. And the good thing is, no matter who makes them, be it locally in Nepal or someone else all over the world, they're doing it with love. And if it's the local women in Nepal making these packs that we're handing out as well, they're making an income from it, and they're able to support their family just by doing that and using their skills in sewing. So it's just a win-win all round. So there was laughters, and there was like ooh faces, and there was like hee hee hee. It was so cute. The girls were probably aged between maybe 12, 13 to 16 and up. So there was a wide variety of ages. And the second group is probably the one that I would like to talk about the most, because it was one that a little girl off to the side was starting to talk, and I was like, what is she saying? And when it was during the self-defense section, no, not the self-defense section, it was during the being able to say no, the anti-trafficking, like basically people saying, come with me, I've got money, oh, you're beautiful, we'll do modeling, or maybe even like a family member has told you to go with a certain guy that you don't know. And she was saying that there was a girl in her village that had been trafficked by someone in her family. So that really, to me, hit home that this shit's real, people. Like, people are selling their own family members into the trafficking ring for God knows what. And people like Days for Girls are at least educating these women on this. The other scary thing which I heard, which I never knew about, was because it's not something that's embraced in these cultures, a woman's period, that when they first get their period, they're actually ostracized from the village, and they're put into like a hut for the whole period of their village, the whole period of their cycle. So it could be a week, I guess. There's nothing in there. It's a dirt floor. It is a hut, and it's nothing. It's like there has been 3 deaths already this year from people being put into these situations. And this is a traditional thing that they've always done. Now, doTERRA aren't going to come in, you can't do this, rah, rah. They're not doing that. But Maya is like, well, look, if this is something that you do want to do, and you do want to have this time away from the village during this time, let's make it pretty. Let's get them a room. Let's make it like a spa. Let's make this special. Even just the thought that let's just flip it on its head. It doesn't have to be in a dirt pit where you're going to freeze to death with the goats. It can literally be a beautiful room and something that people can look forward to and be empowered by. So even that as a thought was really quite grounding. and you have to remind yourself how lucky we truly are. So yeah, that was that. And then good old Rob and Paul came in as the men, and Teresa was fantastic to do self-defense on both. Was it on Paul or was it Rob? I think it was on Paul, and she was like, no. And I was like, no. And so we're showing them like where the girls, where it's hard, that you use your elbow, use your arm, like use your head, use your knee, and like where is it soft for men, like groin or stomach or, you know, throat or eyes, and just areas of weakness that they can get into. No, and just the basic kind of self-defense. So it was a bit of a giggle, but I think they got it. I think they got the idea that if something comes up, and we got them verbalizing the word no, both for, you know, temptation, but also self-defense as well. So that was really good. And then we got them practicing with the Days for Girls kits, and then as everyone left, before everyone left, actually, the boys stood up in front of these young women, and they gave a speech. They gave a speech about the love of their life and the women in their life, and how important, I'm going to start crying again. How important the women are in their life. And it was really powerful to see, you know, big grown men stand up there, you know, speaking from the heart on how special that we are, and how women are, and how they need to respect themselves and understand that we are special, and that we can do absolutely anything that we aim at in the world. Rob did something really clever. He's like, you know, I'm a boy and you're a girl. He said, I can be a pilot, can you be a pilot? And they're like, yes. It's like, I can be a doctor, can you be a doctor? Yes. It's like, you know, I could be a teacher, you can be a teacher. And they're like, yes. It's like, you can be a mother, can I be a mother? And they're like, no. It's like, no, but you can do something that men can't do. You can bring life into this world. And he was talking about how important it is that for women to choose, when you choose someone to marry, you know, and how important that connection is, and how lots of men will say they love you, and lots of men will want things from you, but you know, you should actually go with the person who's more happy to say I'm sorry more than I love you. And that was a really beautiful, touching moment. And they both said, both Paul and Rob said such beautiful things, both about their own wife, their own daughters, their own experiences, that really touched these girls and everyone in the room, including myself. So, and at the end, after all of that, so they've been empowered, they've got knowledge, they've got experience, they've got the tools, then they get their little Days for Girls kit and they leave. And they are so happy. So happy. You can only imagine what they would have to have been doing beforehand, not having this, and how lucky we are to have sanitary items at our disposal. So, and the most beautiful thing though, I think they got me, it wasn't the young girls, it wasn't the last session, it was the teachers, it was the older women who were there teaching with us. And then they were like, can we have one too? Can we have one too? And we're like, of course you can have one too. They were hugging and jumping and kissing. They were more excited about having these packs than the girls. So these women have gone their whole life doing things, you know, that they probably no one in a Western world would have to do every single month. And something as simple as Days for Girls can change lives. Something as simple as doing a bit of sewing can change lives. So it was such a beautiful experience to be involved with. And after that, we had photos. The girls were coming up and they're having photos with us with their bags, and they were so proud and so grateful. So it was an awesome experience, and I'm so proud to be a part of that. And then we're down again, back on the tools. So yeah, it was just awesome. That night, I think we went for a walk. There was a big soccer pitch out. And I was like, oh yeah, it's just down there. I was like, okay, it's just down there. So, because we brought things and games and stuff for the kids to play with, to interact with the kids, and so okay, yeah, no worries, we'll go out there. And so we're walking out. It's like, oh, it's a bit of a hike, but no, it was probably about a 10-minute walk. We go out and down this hill, and it's like, you know how I said they tier things? This thing had been tiered. Like, this thing was like gigantic Olympic size, like soccer pitch. It was dirt. It was all dirt, half mud, but it was huge space, which was really cool. I hadn't really seen that space up on a hill before. So it was like all these young blokes were there. They could play soccer. Tell you what, they were good at kicking the ball. Half of them didn't have shoes, or they had thongs on or slipped, like the slide shoes. They could play better than anyone I'd seen in a really long time. Some of them had boots on. And so it's like, oh, you want to play? So okay, I'm going to play. So here we are playing around this mud patch soccer, and I was proud of myself. I could hold up. I was doing okay. I just played D. I thought I can stop him. I can't run with him. And I stacked it. Yeah, I was going to stop a goal, and I did. I got the ball away from him, but then I tripped over and I just went it's like a mud all out my leg, all out my side, and I'm like, okie dokie, that's Nepal's mud for you. Like, I was just coated in it. I was like, oh, no, I'm definitely having a shower tonight. But it was just the most fun. People came down with frisbees and all sorts of volleyballs, and it was just a hoot. And so most of the kids could speak a bit of English and stuff, and they were just really accepting and involving. And I was the only girl playing soccer, and they were super happy with that. They weren't all exclusive or anything like that. So yeah, it was a really fun night. And then we walked home in the dark and had our dinner and did all that kind of stuff. So my battery's about to run flat on this, so I might hang this up for the night. But yeah, it was just another awesome day, and a few more things to experience, and a few more people met, and had lots and lots of fun. So tomorrow I'll probably talk about just how we wrapped up in the community, coming back down and maybe experience some more of Kathmandu. So that was part 3 for me, guys, and I will chat to you later. Bye.